Hired a PI to watch my fiancée on her girl's trip, and now I'm torn. Hey everyone, long time lurker, first time poster here. I never thought I'd be the one to spill my story on a confession subreddit, but here we are. To cut a long story short, my fiancée and I have been together for 5 years. Every year, she goes on this girls only trip with her close friends. Something in my gut had been bothering me about these trips. Maybe it was the slight changes in her behavior afterward, or the cryptic conversations I'd overhear. Instead of directly confronting her, I did something I'm deeply ashamed of. I hired a private investigator to watch her during her recent trip. I got back the results a few days ago, and as much as I regret violating her privacy, my suspicions were not unfounded. The PI presented evidence of her being unfaithful. It shattered my heart. Now I'm caught in this storm of emotions. On one hand, I deeply regret snooping and not trusting her enough to talk about it. On the other, the betrayal from her side feels even more significant. I love her, but I can't see a future together anymore. How do I even approach this situation? Do I confess my snooping, or just end things without revealing the reason? Any advice is welcome. Update: hey everyone, I've received many messages asking about the situation, and I thought it was only right to keep those who cared in the loop. When my fiancée returned from her trip, I tried my best to handle things maturely. I gave her a chance to be honest, asking if there was anything she wanted to share about her trip. Instead of coming clean, she gaslit me, making me question my own perceptions and reality. Having the evidence I had, I confronted her about the affair. She was taken aback and immediately asked how I knew. I told her the truth, that I hired a PI. I didn't want to falsely accuse any of her friends, as some of you suggested, even though, honestly, part of me was tempted. She was furious. I've never seen her that angry in all of our years together. Additionally, feeling it was the right thing to do, I shared the evidence with one of her friend's boyfriends so he could be informed and consider getting tested if necessary. It was clear to both of us that our relationship had reached a breaking point. We broke up right then. Despite it being my house that I've financially covered for us, I left and checked into a hotel, giving her space and asking her to pack her things and move out. We didn't communicate for a few days. When she finally reached out, she expressed a desire to talk and perhaps find a way to mend things. But the trust was broken, and I couldn't see a future for us. I told her no. And now, the part I didn't see coming. She's considering pursuing palimony payments. For those unaware, palimony is financial support provided to a partner in a non-marital relationship after separation. I've been informed that due to the relationship laws in our state, this could very well be a real concern. I've initiated the process of hiring a lawyer. During our relationship, I took on the majority of the financial responsibilities, including the mortgage. We had an unspoken understanding. My money is our money, her money is her money, due to our significant income differential. I never thought that my generosity would come back to haunt me. There it is, the update many of you asked for. I wish I had a happier conclusion to this chapter, but life has its twists and turns. It seems she might have the upper hand in this final act, but I'm hoping for a fair resolution. Thank you for the support and advice. It has really meant a lot. Let's see the comments. I hope that the palimony does not materialize. It may not feel like it, but it's better to know now rather than a few years and kids potentially down the road. Good luck to you. I can't imagine there being much of a case since she cheated. That's typically checkmate in these things, and he has the proof. I hope he wins, then countersues her for his legal fees. F this useless little scrubber. He needs to be proactive and speak with an attorney so they can explain his legal options based on location and circumstances so that palimony does not materialize. Best case scenario, =, speak to an attorney and confirm that she cannot collect palimony. Any dollar spent on this is worth the peace of mind. Palimony will also look at if she has another relationship, which she clearly does, and if you guys considered yourself married, just without the paperwork, and since you were engaged, this was not the case. There were also no children involved, and she didn't give up anything to raise your children, so her case is weak at best. It's time for a consult with a very good lawyer. Just like the PI, it will be money well spent. Or, the Sicilian way is to explain to her how awful it would be if her behavior was made known to all her family, friends, and co-workers. Let's check out another story. Found out my girlfriend has been cheating on me while on a trip across Europe. What should I do? To start off, I have paid for most of the trip. She has helped financially by paying for some hotel stays and some meals while out here. The trip was my idea. It's partly to celebrate my birthday and Valentine's Day. I found out she was cheating on me because, while in Madrid, we had an argument after a night out of drinking. The bar we were at had closed during the halftime of the Super Bowl. So upon closing, one of the employees got on top of a chair and started yelling at everyone to follow him to a bar around the corner. Apparently, it was another bar owned by the same owner that would remain open to watch the remainder of the Super Bowl. When that happened, we had agreed to just go back to our hotel and watch the remainder on my phone while in bed. However, she needed to use the restroom. Since we were getting told to leave the bar, I told her they probably wouldn't let her go use it. I asked her if she could hold it for 5 minutes while we got to our hotel room. She said yes, but that we should hurry, so I rushed out the bar with her, navigated our way to the hotel. During our walk over there, she asked to see my phone so that she could watch the Super Bowl halftime show while we were walking. I was still rushing and waiting for her as she was distracted watching the halftime show. We missed a green light because of her, causing us to wait for some traffic to pass before crossing the intersection. So we got to our hotel, rushed in. Upon being in the elevator, she started saying she couldn't hold it anymore. As soon as the elevator doors opened, she rushed out, slammed doors into the restroom, almost fell over the toilet making a loud noise at 3 a.m. She didn't make it, peed on herself slightly, and I got upset at her. Didn't tell her anything, just nodded my head in disappointment, and we started arguing. She blamed it on me, saying that I forced her to come back to the hotel and everything was my fault. Receptionists even came upstairs while this was going on and told us to be quiet and have respect for the guests that were sleeping. She had also spilled her drink all over the halls while running to the restroom. So I apologized, cleaned the mess she had done, and went into our bedroom after. When I got in, she was really mad and drunk, telling me that I was an asshole and that it was my fault. After explaining to her how we were forced out, she took forever walking to the hotel and going back and forth about whose fault it was. I just decided to accept it and take the blame for the sake of the trip. She then walked out and said she needed to talk to her mom. She tells her mom everything, even our relationship issues. I told her to stop, and she decided to come back in and put the Super Bowl game on her phone. She watched it till she fell asleep. During that time, I used the restroom, showered, and got ready for bed. When I was finally done, she was sleeping, but her phone was unlocked on the bed. She was completely knocked out drunk. Out of curiosity, I went through her phone, which I never do, to see if she had told her mom anything about us. She texted her mom, "I'm breaking up with him after this trip." She told her that I was boring and that her ex-boyfriend from many years ago was better, and also said another guy, which is her old co-worker. This guy I had met before, and she had told me they were just friends. They still work at the same company, just different locations. So I proceeded to look up the messages with him, and mostly it was regarding work. But then I came across some messages where she invited him over to her place. Some messages were either missing or they called each other. I can't prove 100% that she cheated, but her telling her mom that he's better for her and seeing messages where she invites him over, I think is enough, right? I haven't said anything about it. I have kept quiet. We still have a week left on our Europe trip, so I'm pretending everything is okay. She also told her mom that she's going to have me keep paying everything, so now I'm letting her pay for more things. The next day, she deleted the messages with her mom. I saw because she sent a picture to her mom and showed me her messages briefly while showing me the picture she sent her mom. My plan is to pretend I know nothing, enjoy the rest of the trip, have her spend more money and break up with her once we get back. Am I in the wrong? Let's see the comments. Break up now. Tell her she can find her own accommodation or return home. Either way, it won't be on you. Came here to say this. She wants to use you for the rest of the trip and dump you. Dump her now so she can't. Enjoy the rest of your trip and don't let her use anything she paid for. Leave for your next location and get your own hotel room.